There are few people who can say they were around for the flood of '57, and fewer still who can offer as unique a perspective as former Pikeville attorney Hugh B.
I have a little more insight on this flood than a lot of people because my dad at that time was the city manager of Pikeville. He just happened to be in Washington, D.C. trying to get flood control. And he tried to get back and he couldn't get into Pikeville because they declared martial law and they didn't know who he was. So they had to bring some of the local people in to tell them that he's our city manager, we need him. And so he started work. He stayed up 3 straight days.
At 16, Hall was just old enough to have been enlisted in helping with various stages of the flooding, including his part in the martial law declaration.
The flood came up, and as the water went down, the city needed to clean all the streets, get the mud out of the streets. So they wanted all the traffic off the street at night. So they gave me a police raincoat and a policeman's hat, and I was a policeman on Main Street to keep the traffic off. And there was one guy I got into it with, not bad, but a little bit. He gave me a hard time. He ended up being my law partner about 12 years later. O.T. Hinton, what a guy he was.
And just as with any good adventure story, there was even lost treasure to be sought after in the days following.
The worst place was the upper ridge, and it had to be burned. So before they burned it, there were mobile homes and everything in there. And one local guy had just gotten back, this is the truth, had just gotten back from Las Vegas, won $30,000 and put it in a mason jar in his camper. It has not been found to this day, but we looked for it.
Reporting for Mountaintop News, I'm Sheldon Compton.